What would happen to the electronics you depend on if an electromagnetic pulse hit tomorrow? Would your radio, phone, or emergency equipment survive? Today I'm going to build a Faraday cage for about $29. And more importantly, we're going to test it to see if it can block a signal. So let's get started. So we're going to build this Faraday cage with a galvanized steel trash can. Now, I know you're expecting Oscar the Grouch to jump out, but he's not. Whoa, there's an echo in there. And for those of you that understood that connotation, leave it in the comments below. I want to see how with it you are. So we're going to take the cover off. Now this is just a galvanized steel trash can that I purchased at Walmart for $29. I was very impressed with it. It even comes with these locks on the handles, so you can lock the lid down on top of it. So before we start, take a look at this so you know what an EMP is and what a Faraday cage does. Yes, it helps to block out the EMP signal, because what happens if an EMP goes off, okay, and those EMP waves go flying everywhere, which knock out all our electronics. The idea of this is that the signal goes around the metal because it doesn't go through, and anything that is shielded should be safe. Now inside here, if we had things, electronics touching the metal, of course, it's still going to be a great conductor and the signal will probably get through. So it needs to be shielded inside so nothing is touching the metal. So the metal defrays the signal, and what we're putting inside, which is going to be cardboard, keeps your electronics off the sides. So if you think of it, any kind of metal box like this, if it's lined with cardboard, should work the same way. So you're not limited to a trash can. Okay, if you want to do it with a lock box or some kind of like a safe type box, you can do it with that as well, depending on the size of what you need. Now the reason I'm doing this video is one of my viewers, when I did one of my last videos on surviving a heat wave, I showed the Opus power bank that I was using, and she said, well, how are you going to make a Faraday cage for that? And I said, aha, that's what I should do, is I'm going to make a Faraday cage. Ta-da! So I love your comments. If there's things you'd like to see, please go ahead and let me know, and I might be building your project next. So to line this with cardboard, what I did was I had to cut these out. So I took, first of all, this cardboard here, which goes in the bottom. I simply took the trash can, put it on top of cardboard, took my pen and drew a circle. I traced the bottom of this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drop this in here, and let's see if you can see what's going on. I'm going to drop that in, and if you look, it's going to fit perfectly in the bottom. Isn't that cool? Now that takes care of the bottom. I did the same thing for the top, by the way. The top of the trash can, I didn't have a big enough piece of cardboard, so I made it with two. And what I did was I cut this piece and then I just duct taped it. Breakfast of champions. So I take that and I put it in here. So now we have the top and the bottom all set. Then what I did was I measured from top to bottom of the trash can and cut out a piece of cardboard that would fit it. So this is the same diameter and the same height. Now as you see, the trash can has a slant to it. It's not straight, so I can't just put the cardboard in. So what I did, so it would form fit more towards the bottom, is I made these slits about every, I'd say 4 inches. I just cut it. Can you see how I did that? Let me get a little closer so you can see. Every 4 inches, I just cut that about 3/4 of the way. So you can see it's all cut all the way over. So now, when I go ahead and take this and form fit it to go inside, it's going to fit right inside there. And then I just spread it out. And the idea is, now I'm going to do is I'm just going to staple this so it stays wider at the top and it goes down the bottom. Now no, you don't have to tape the slits and everything. The whole idea is just keeping the inside separated from on the metal. And that's pretty much all there is to a Faraday cage. So I put whatever you want inside here. Any radios, you could even put a small power bank in here. What are you using? If you have an extra phone, you can put it in there, laptop, anything like that. So when the signal comes, it'll go around, okay? And this is being protected by the cardboard, and hopefully you're still gonna have workable equipment. So now for the test that'll show you whether this will block out radio waves. And just so you know, it might not work on every single type of EMP because there's a few of them out there, but it's a much better chance of protecting your equipment than having nothing at all and being totally unprepared. Let me get the camera closer so you can see what I'm doing. So for the test, I'm going to get some music or something on my radio, and it'll be fine while it's outside, but when it goes inside, will it block the signal? Let's go with FM.
Just kind of floating along, like, oh, he's along for the ride.
Take this.
I guess. But then that doesn't really fit with what I'm saying, because if I change the plans, he can't go.
Now look at that. I just took my hand out, and it's already blocking it. So all you're hearing is the static. Radio waves are not permeating the trash can at all. Now, my first thought when I think of that is it just on the bottom.
To have something on the calendar.
See how it started again?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's take this bucket
She's floating.
and put it inside.
Coasting.
So this way,
in her scenario,
this will only go halfway down,
she's
okay?
got one older sister and 2 younger siblings. So she's in the middle.
So there's still signal because it's higher.
Okay.
Middle.
But not like there's another.
Not perfectly in the middle.
Did you hear that? It shut off completely. So even though it was at the top, some signal was kind of going in from the top, but as soon as I covered it, gone. Now watch when I take it off.
She went and visited her sister, her older
And that's
sister.
why it's important to have a good seal on your cover. There's the music.
Like, you better read.
Now it's gone.
Okay.
No, she
Now
was
it's
there
not.
and she was telling me
Now it's gone. Now it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I get confused. Now it's gone. So there you have it, an EMP Faraday box. Go ahead and try it. Let me know how it works for you, and let me know what kind of equipment you would put in your Faraday box. What's important to you to still have if we lost all the other electronics? Leave it in the comments below. Also, be sure to share this with your friends. It'll help them to be ready, and it'll make them realize that you're a little loco. So with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. There it is. Now it's gone. There it is. Now it's gone.